안녕하세요. Let's learn how to say I have something in Korean. Let's go. Let's learn how to say I have something in Korean. There are basically two ways. In other words, there are two predicates that you can use to express you have something. The first predicate you can use is 가지다. And the second one is 있다, that you already know. Let's talk about the first predicate, 가지다, first. 가지다 is a verb. This verb itself actually sounds more like to take. In other words, to gain possession of in Korean, rather than to have. So in order to make this verb sound more like to have, you need to put it in the continuous tense. So in the present tense, you add 고 있어요 to the stem 가지. 가지고 있어요. Yes, it sounds like it's in the actual present continuous tense to me, but you can still use it to express the present tense form have, because the original verb 가지다 does not mean to have in the first place. Do you understand what I mean? If you don't, you can just move forward. Just remember that you don't use the present tense form, but use present continuous tense form of the verb 가지다 to express the English present tense have. Once again, 가지고 있어요 is in the present continuous tense grammatically, but you can still use it to express the present simple tense have, because the original verb 가지다 is closer to take rather than to have. Okay? 가지고 있어요 is usually used when you want to express you're carrying something, you own something, or you possess something, which means it is not used for people. Thus, 가지고 있어요 is not used when you want to say, I have a younger sister. Got it? And because 가지다 is a verb, you can use the object particle 을 for the object of this verb. The second predicate you can use is 있다. You already know this predicate. You use this predicate to express there is something, or someone is somewhere. Lesson 4, part 2. Do you remember? As you know, 있다 basically means to exist. Amazingly, this predicate 있다 can be either a verb or an adjective, depending on the usage, but you don't have to distinguish. You can just think 있다 is not a verb, which means you don't use the object particle 을, even if it is used to mean to have. That's enough. And again, please don't forget this predicate 있다 basically means to exist. Is it confusing because the present continuous tense compound expression 고 있다 or 고 있어요 also includes the same predicate 있다 in it? Hope it is not. I think I talked about this once before, didn't I? Anyway, this predicate 있다 is two of the most important predicates in Korean. The other one is 이다. Just saying. Now let's take a look at the examples. I have a car. In Korean, the word could be more like I, car, have. If you use the verb 가지다, you should put it in the present continuous tense. So, 저는 I, 차를, a car, 가지고 있어요. have. 저는 차를 가지고 있어요. Of course, the object particle 를 can be omitted in spoken Korean. You can also use the predicate 있다 as well to make the same sentence, I have a car. And the sentence is going to be 저는 차가 있어요. Please take a close look at this sentence. 저는 I, 차가. This is supposed to be an object because it is in English. Then why the subject particle 가 is used here? There are three ways to explain this. The simplest explanation is this: because 있다 is not exactly a verb. So you cannot use the object particle 를, which automatically means the object particle 을 is used only with a verb. The second explanation is this. Because 있다 basically means to exist. So 저는 차가 있어요 actually means as for me or to me, a car exists, which means in English, I have a car. So in this sentence, as for me is a topic, and a car is the actual subject. That is why the subject particle 가 is added. There's one more way to explain this, which is related to transitive adjective. But let's talk about this later, because I need to explain what this fancy word transitive adjective means. As you can omit the particle for a subject and or an object, you can omit this subject particle 가 as well in spoken Korean. So 저는 차 있어요 or 저 차 있어요 sounds absolutely fine in spoken Korean. Then you might want to ask if these two sentences sound absolutely the same. I would say 저는 차를 가지고 있어요 sounds more like I own a car or I possess a car. And 저는 차가 있어요 sounds more like simply I have a car. I think people use 있어요 more often unless you absolutely want to express you own or possess a certain car. Let's see the next sentence. I have a younger sister. I, a younger sister, have. 저는 여동생이 있어요. 저는 여동생이 있어요. 여동생 means a younger sister. 동생 is the word which expresses the younger part. It is a noun that is used to indicate a younger sibling or your friend who is younger than you. You cannot use 가지고 있어요 here because you don't own or possess your sister. You can think 있다, 있어요 is used only for living things if you want. But personally, I think you can use 가지고 있어요 for your dog or cat because you can own your dog or cat. But 있다, 있어요 would sound better for your pet as well than 가지고 있어요. Let's see the next sentence. The order has already been rearranged. I, now, a handphone, have. You know what it means, right? Handphone is a Konglish word that people use to mean mobile phone or cell phone in Korea. It's a thing, so you can use 가지고 있어요 as well. Let's see the Korean sentences. 제가 지금 핸드폰을 가지고 있어요. Because of the adverb 지금, which means now, this sentence sounds more like I have a mobile phone with me right now. Why 제가 is used? You know, no reason. 가지고 있어요 suits very well in this sentence because you're carrying your mobile phone. Now, let's use 있다. 제가 지금 핸드폰이 있어요. Again, the subject particle 이가 is used for what is supposed to be an object, 핸드폰, because in Korean, it rather means as for me or to me, now a mobile phone exists. Next sentence. I, before, a house, had. First of all, it is in the past tense, and it means I had a house before. Let's take a look at the Korean sentences. The first sentence, 저는 전에 집을 가지고 있었어요. The past tense ending, 없어요 is added instead of 어요, right? 전 is a noun, so if you want to use it as an adverb like before in English, you need to add a particle 에. Or you can think it is because 전 indicates a point in time. The second sentence with 있다. 저는 전에 집이 있었어요. 저는 전에 집이 있었어요. Not 있어요, but 있었어요, because it's in the past tense. This was a short lesson. Let's learn how to make negative sentences in the next lesson. 안녕히 계세요.